First and foremost, it is impossible without God's grace, I would say, to love our enemy. What helps is changing our perspective on things. So God doesn't have enemies. The only enemy of God is sin and evil. And so our only enemy really should be sin or evil. And we should try to see the world as God sees it. So if you take a second to think about it, whoever you're most upset about, most angry towards, the person you might consider your enemy, it's important to remember that God cares about that person as much as he cares about you. That God wants that person in heaven as much as you, and you are no more important in God's eyes than that person. And so when we begin to change our perspective and to see others as God sees them, that helps to a little bit cut back the bitter feelings we have, maybe the revengeful feelings. With that being said, it's really important to remind ourselves that Christ doesn't say, I command you to like your enemy. He says, I command you to love your enemy. We're not gonna feel affection towards everyone. There's gonna be certain people that irritate us. There's gonna be certain people that hurt us, so we're not gonna feel affection towards them. And that's just being human, that's normal. It's a human emotion to feel a certain repulsion at times to certain things, whether it be food, whether it be people, because for whatever reason, they don't necessarily comply with ourselves. Maybe they hurt us, maybe they're irritating us. So feeling that natural repulsion to someone, I wouldn't say is wrong, but in the Christian way of life, what we do is we take in our natural inclinations, our natural emotions, and we evaluate them, and then we decide how are we gonna act on them. And so we might feel a natural repulsion to someone, and so that doesn't mean we have to act on them. We can still choose to be kind, we can still choose to be friendly. Maybe they're toxic to us, and so we can't necessarily be in their presence for whatever reason. It's not healthy for us to remain in their presence, but we can still pray for them out of love. We can still will their good. We can still hope that God brings about some change in their life that might be making them repulsive, Because if we were commanded to like everyone, I do think that might be impossible. Because we're gonna feel natural irritations to people, especially people that hurt us deeply. But if you wanted to summarize love like in a very general way, to love, as St. Thomas Aquinas would say, is to will the good of the other. And so at all times, we should be striving to will the good of the other. And sometimes that just involves praying for somebody. Sometimes it involves giving a smile, a compliment. To people that are more close to us in our life, parents, children, that's gonna require a lot more than just simply a compliment or a smile. That love is gonna have to be seen in greater actions. And so the love we show in terms of like what it looks like is gonna be different, but this basic idea of trying to will the good of the other, even if it is our enemy, we could still will the good of the other. If it's a political figure we don't like, we could still will their good and pray for their good. Pray that they might live their lives according to God's will. I hope and pray you all have a blessed and relaxing weekend, and may God's love inspire you to share that same love with others in your life. May God bless and protect you all.